So this is a video you can listen to and not see anything because it's dark. I haven't left my room. I've been in meditation for the last, I don't know how many minutes because I can't sleep. I had caffeine a little late. And to be honest with you, I have so many things to say. So I'm going to start with this one. Breathe. Let's take 2 more deep breaths together. In through the nose, filling up the entire upper chest and belly, and out through the mouth. Letting out with a ha. In one more time, in through the nose. Filling up the upper chest and the belly. Fill it till it's full. And sigh it out. Relax. Let your nervous system relax. We are being bombarded with external, constant bombardment to get us into discomfort, to get us into dis-ease so we can make a choice. And the choice has always been being present or being shut down and concentrated on so many things. But when we silence the mind and we slow our ways of doing, we allow ourselves to just be. There are so many things that are out of balance, but what is out of balance within you that you can shift today? Because it's through allowing yourself to change and shift that everything begins to change and shift in the ways you actually desire them to. And don't worry, sometimes we all fall off that concentration track. But when you start to settle in to your body again, you start to feel empowered and you empower those around you. And sometimes when you're at peace or when you're changing your vibration and you're getting into that spiritual mode, because when you slow down, you're allowed to feel the energy of God. You're allowed to feel that holy essence of you. Sometimes that scares others around you that haven't been carrying God with them. So they try to trigger you back into that chaotic state, especially when their nervous system is used to chaos. All of us are used to some level of trauma and chaos and confusion and distraction. If we can teach yourselves to slow down and allow. And I'm not talking about children. Children naturally have a sense of peace, even though they're doing all of the motions and action, right? It's a matter of the adult brain who thinks that it's right, who's constantly searching for validation, because that's what our society has taught us is what we need, is cooperation and validation from others, when really we only need that within the self. A lot of things people have been doing out of fear of being left out or without, but in reality, there's nothing that is not. If it's meant for you, it will be with you. If it's not meant for you, relax and make space for the more to grow, to allow yourself to change and have that energy and that interest and that entity that is you growing into you. Now that we've allowed the space for creation and for the divine, let's allow for something else. Let's allow for ultimate healing, seeing, which makes us uncomfortable, having uncomfortable conversations. Not because we're trying to pick fights or we're trying to XYZ, but because that's how progress changes. That's how we actually face and deal with and change that which hasn't been working for all of us. Let's face it, the government isn't and hasn't been for the people for quite some time. Let's face it, you have billionaires asking regular humans that haven't hit the billionaire club or the multimillionaire club for millions of dollars. Guess what? They don't need it. In fact, a majority of the things that people have been asking about have been demanding, and people are giving out of the kindness of their hearts. It's not being delivered to people. You know how I know? Because you can ask them. To this day, I see 2.6 million and growing through the platform that we all seem to know by the ABC Corporation. And they're withholding that money from people that actually need it. You have organizations that claim to be helping people withholding donations from people that need it. And guess what? This probably isn't the first time. See, if they actually cared about the people, it wouldn't be about, oh, the protocol has to be XYZ. Let's look at this. I think this is my least favorite thing right now. And nobody understands the origin of words and how they come to be. So the biggest word that makes me super irritated right now is conspiracy. When you look it up, it has nothing negative about it, actually. Con means with or together. Spira is to breathe, and esi is together, right? So to breathe together. So why isn't it they want people to not breathe together? Because when they divide you, they can conquer you. But when you breathe together, they cannot. So if you are not part of a conspiracy, which just used to be the idea of the cohort, that's how the Declaration of Independence happened. That's how the United States happened anyway. It was a conspiracy. Some people breathing together, thinking that the United States should be created. Right? But we're far from where we started, and we didn't even start in a good place, because how can you discover and own a land that was already discovered and owned by people? How can we say that these governing bodies care about us when they clearly, studied science people, how can they say that something is ready when you have to do a minimum of 7 to 10 years worth of research before any pharmaceutical or vaccine could come out? That is not science, period. So if it's not science, what is it? Let's start asking uncomfortable questions. Why is it that there are still countries that suppress women to the point of beating them to death for singing a song? Why do people think it's their duty to rape women who don't do what they think they should be doing? Does that even make sense? Does it make sense to harm anyone? No. Does it make sense to harm children? No. Does it make sense to yell at someone? Because this is just my neighbor, right? They are yelling at the child, saying, "Are you an idiot because you're acting like an idiot?" and blah, 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 blah. Look, if the yelling didn't work the first place, do you think yelling is actually going to work? Do you like getting yelled at like that? No. So why would you think that's going to work? Well, stop repeating cycles, right? Doing negative things because they were done to you does not fix it. Choose to be better. Choose to heal. A lot of people think, oh, if I don't have kids, then I don't have to consider, worry, or everything about the future. Wrong. Because we're all children of this earth, of this universe. And unless we take the time to actually remember that we're all here together and we're not in an island of self, because this community of earth people wouldn't exist without other people, right? There's no way. They say it's an island of self. There's no way to keep it going. So how do we want to do this? What's the best way? What's the best way that works for you, where you are? What's the uncomfortable conversation you need to have? You don't want to talk to little Mary or little Joe about people touching their private areas when they're not supposed to inappropriately. Well, guess what? They're not going to know the symptoms. They're not going to know that these things are out there. You got to have these uncomfortable conversations to protect people. It's not right that somebody yells at you. They have healing to do. And when that person does yell at them, you can tell them, hey, guess what? I don't deserve to be yelled at. You've got healing to do. And I really wish my ex would have said that, because I had a yelling problem. That's how I grew up. People yelled. We yelled at each other. That's how we talked, I guess. That's how I was talked to, was in a perpetual state of yelling. Did I know my mother was with mental illness? No. Did she know it? No. But I did learn that that's not how it works. Did I figure it out? Yeah. Do I yell at my kid? No. As best I can. I think I've yelled maybe twice in like 4 years. And it's usually like, I'm really upset right now. I need to take a break because I don't want to yell. Right? So let me just have a couple minutes. I'll figure it out and I'll come right back to you. I'm laughing, but that's pretty much how it goes. You know? And then now it's like, even with a stern voice, it's a matter of changing direction. It's a matter of saying, the buck stops here. This action stops here. If I was a perfect human being, that would be amazing. But I don't think there is perfect. I think there's just placeholders. But we sure do know right from wrong. We sure do know okay from not okay. If we understand what the level of danger and the importance is, we can convey these messages. We need to look. People want to say it's a conspiracy to think that so-and-so would hurt us. Well, guess what? It wasn't a conspiracy to say that they beat niggas, wasn't it? They would beat them to death because they didn't do what they wanted them to do. They would rather you starve and work in their field and do what they needed you to do. But it was bad to talk about it. They would lynch people and hang people and lie about what the wrongs that they did. And why? Because they couldn't have a conversation about it, and now they're afraid to teach that because that'll make certain people feel bad. Guess what? Everybody should feel bad about that. Everybody should feel enraged about that, so that the future never has it again. We also forgot that we determine what our governments do and don't do to us. We honestly need our militaries and our police force to come together to realize that they're for the people. And it's not about their power or feeling better than another group. It's about them actually protecting and guiding and keeping the officials that claim that they're helping us together. What else? What else am I just going to spiel out right now? Oh, Lord, tell me what it is you want. divine is always with you. So even though it can feel like you're going through a heavy level of chaos, you're not. You are in the eye of the storm when you step into your divinity. And the answers and the opportunities are always there. And there are always people willing to be there to love you and help you through all of it. So I love you. Let's do this together. I'm going to try to go to sleep again. Wish me luck. Because I guess I'll probably make another dark video for you if I can. Alright, ciao for now.